Welcome back to the podcast. On this episode, I have Spencer Chamberlain of Underoath on to talk about how wild his schedule has been over the last 12 months or so, his routine, and the debut album from Slow Tide, his solo project titled The Blur, which is out now. Additionally, the brand new album from Underoath, The Place After This One, is out now as well. Spencer is without question a Hall of Famer in our scene, and I couldn't have been more jacked to speak with him. Underoath fan or not, be sure and check out this Slow Tide album. Sonically, it's very cruising down the road at 9 p.m. in the summer. If you enjoy what I'm doing here, make sure and subscribe wherever you like to podcast and drop a 5-star rating, as it really does help more people discover the podcast. Additionally, posting about it on social media helps a ton as well. I'm easily found across all of social media. Also, I need to give a shout out to the team at Emo's Not Dead, where you can score 20% off your entire order using promo code DEADING20 at emosnotdead.com. If you're looking to score last-minute tickets to a sporting event or show, head over to SeatGeek, where you can get $20 off your first order using promo code DENNING at checkout. With all of that out of the way, enjoy my chat with Spencer Chamberlain of Underoath and Slow Tide. Enjoy. But yeah, we are rolling, dude. Yeah, dude, I appreciate you coming on, dude. Like I said, you've been super duper busy over the last 9 to 12 months, it seems like.
I feel like since pretty much since the Chasing Safety 20 stuff started last year.
Yeah.
I feel like it's been nonstop because we started writing a new Underoath record, and we were going to hold that until after the Chasing Safety tour, but we weren't allowed to, so we started releasing songs while doing a 20th anniversary tour, while I was also releasing stuff for the Slow Tide stuff at the same time. Everything just was all at once. And then it's been nonstop, and we got, new Underoath record out, my first solo record out, touring on both. Me and my fiance moved. Our wedding is in 4 weeks.
Man.
We're doing so much. And then right after that, the leg 2 of the Papa Roach tour with Underoath starts. So, yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, I mean, because you've done, like I said, the 20th year tour, the Emos.Dead cruise, which always is a good time.
Yeah, we did that under a fake name this last time.
Ultra.
Yeah, which was probably the most exciting thing for me that I've done in a really long time, and a really cool social experiment without even knowing that we were doing it. In hindsight, the experiment of so knowing that if we said, hey, it's Underoath, we're going to play all new songs, people would be pissed off.
Yeah.
Because you go expecting to hear Writing on the Walls and, in regards to myself, Boy Brush Red, whatever new single we're pushing, whatever single at the last record, whatever it is you're expecting to hear, Hallelujah, whatever it is, you're pissed walking in the door. But to promote it as we're just some band, and we played in long sleeves so no one could tell you about your tattoos, or we all wore masks. It was hot as fuck. And but looking through these little holes of this wool mask that I had on, watching people's faces light up and jump and mosh and crowd surf and be so excited about music, whether some people knew what it was, some obviously Reddit's a thing, and some of the deep divers and Reddit trolls figured it out, and then word spreading around, and then a lot of people not knowing what it was, but the infectious energy of seeing people having a good time, listening to stuff for the very first time, and that energy rubbing off on the people next to them, someone else seeing someone moshing and jumping, makes more people mosh and jump and crowd surf, and seeing people's faces light up, smiling from ear to ear, so stoked to be a part of hearing something for the first time and it being live. And it just in the back of my mind, getting off stage for the first time doing that, we did 5 to 6 shows that total. We did some club shows with Norma Jean, and 2 or 3 shows on the boat, and then 3 to 4, maybe more. I can't, it's like I said, like you said, it's been so busy that I can't really recall, but I think it was 3 to 6 shows total that we did, something like that. And
Yeah.
after the first show, just being like, wow, man, what's crazy was seeing those people's faces light up, but knowing in the back of my mind how mad they would be if we would have said it was Under Oath. And that's a weird like feeling, because I was like, man, that was so cool, but like how weird that I know that these people would not have been pleased if we would have just announced that it was us. So it was a cool social experiment, and I wish we could have done more of it leading up to the record. We wanted to. We had a lot of big plans in it, but it's kind of hard to play under a fake name and lose money all while you're doing it, you know?
But dude, I mean, that Atrium show, that was a certified scene moment. Like you said, like
That's
everybody was there.
Were you there?
I was there, dude. Like the
The
chatter
first
on the,
one.
dude,
Yeah.
the
And
first
like,
one. Yeah. The first
and
one,
people
like
started chanting before we got, dude, it was so cool. The energy in that was just rad. Like that was
yeah.
such a cool moment. And like, I will never forget that. Even though we play, you know, bigger shows all the time and more important shows all the time, for me, that was one that there's certain shows in my mind that I'll never forget. And that's one of them. It was, the energy in that room was so cool. And we were so nervous too, because we were like, we've never done this. We've never actually performed in masks. We don't know how if we're going to like throw up and pass out. And we're trying not to perform like ourselves so people didn't instantly know. And we're also like playing all new songs. It's like, man, if we fuck this up, it's going to, you know, like this sucks. It's not like covered up by a bunch of people singing along, or like just the repeat, you know, the muscle memory of playing songs they've been playing for a long time. There was a lot of nerves on all ends of it. And it was super exciting.
Yeah. And I had no idea what to expect either. Cause it was like, I shot Chris a message. I was like, did you make the boat this time or did you miss it? Like the last you go round or.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, dude, I love it, man. And then I'm wondering, cause you guys are running it back this year as Under Oath. Like, is there a chance maybe we can talk to Gavin about getting a couple songs of Slow Tide? Like maybe.
Dude, I would love to. You know, I offered, you know, the year before when Under Oath wasn't supposed to do it. So the first year we were announced as a headliner, we were supposed to do it. The second year that Chris didn't make it, we were not supposed to be on that, but me and Aaron were booked solo to play acoustic. I was going to do an acoustic set, which once some band dropped off and Matt hit me and was like, hey, would Under Oath be down? And we were down. So we were kind of like a last minute idea. That was never supposed to be the case, but I was already going to be there anyway.
Yeah.
And that year I had suggested to him, I was like, hey, I could do a Slow Tide, like kind of debut on the boat. And they just didn't have room for me to like bring the band members that I would need at that like price point of not really adding a whole lot of value.
No, I get that.
But yeah, I mean, I'm always open to it. It's just, it's a matter of space on the ship, I guess.
Could you even rock it like how people will like go to club shows or clubs at like after hours and just do a couple songs and then leave, like DJ style?
Like with a laptop, you mean? And
yeah,
like a guitar?
Like,
I just would feel so dumb. Like I played Slow Tide, did a tour, and we just did a one-off in New York, and we did a one-off in Nashville last year. And I just like, I want it to be more as real as possible. You know, like it's definitely like a fun thing. Like I'm playing guitar on like 90% of the show.
Mm-hmm.
And like, you know, where Under Oath is like a machine and it's very calculated, even though the shows are madness and what happens on stage is just mayhem. But like, as far as, you know, we use, you know, neural DSP, like we use the, you know, all the digital everything, like, which is needed in a band like that. But for Slow Tide, I want to get it to the point where it's more along the radio headlines of like people are turning pedals and there's so many instruments on stage. It's more like watching people play and less watching people perform, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I feel like Under Oath is such a performance. It's very over the top. And I'm having trouble, not trouble, but I'm trying to dial back what Slow Tide, like I some of the Under Oath comes out of me where I'm like, you know, like moving around and like when I want it to be more like, you know, rolling out a keyboard for this part and playing and singing and on the parts where the pedals are turning, like actually getting on the floor and doing it and like less programmed and more real. So the idea of doing it like a Post Malone set where I would like roll up and, you know, I don't think I'd feel comfortable doing that. I would feel kind of cheesy. I love like it needs live drums, even though on the record it's pretty like lo-fi y, but like I need that like live drummer and that feel of a rock band. I think as I started to play these songs, it got a little more rock and roll, but not in the way of like hard rock, but more in the way of like Brit rock, more a little more grit. And I think that's helping me kind of shape the album too as I'm starting to write that.
Yeah,
Because
definitely.
album one was such a nightmare because it was just an idea I had, a passion project of like, I write a lot for other people. I write in the space with a lot of, I've done it on and off since like 2014 or 15, like just getting in
Hmm.
rooms with people and making songs. And it was an idea I had during COVID where I was like, well, why don't I make something for myself? It's just,
Hmm.
like, for example, at the same time, my favorite bands were like Botch and Isis and Converge, Dillinger Escape Plan, like under the Running Board era. Like I had my first tattoo at 18 was a Radiohead tattoo. Like
Hmm.
there's these two different polar opposite sides of me, from like the indie, more Brit rock, more synthy heavy stuff, all the way to like super heavy like rock stuff. I've always written in both sides. It's just the world really knows me for the heavy stuff because that was one of the bands that stuck. I've been in tons of different bands and growing up, and different genres, and written in different lanes. So like I made the Slow Tide thing. I was like, I just want it to be something so polar opposite of both Sleepwave and Under Oath, just for me,
Yeah.
And then when it started to get a little bit of attention, I like signed a bad deal, and that really hindered the process of songs coming out when they're supposed to come out. Like it was such a painful process and such an unfortunate process. I was like, man, like I kind of felt like I was held hostage for a couple of years as opposed to just releasing songs and letting people hear them. It was kind of like gate kept by a person or people, and
The
it just
powers
like,
that be.
yeah, the powers that be. And I really want to do the second record differently, and also playing it live has helped me like
Hmm.
okay, I like this, I don't like this. It's really helped me like, cool. Hopefully this is one of those records that people discover after the second one. That
Yeah.
happens a lot of times because no one really got a chance to really jump on board with the first record. It's so undiscovered still, which is exciting in its own regard, but if it doesn't get discovered until the second record with a proper team gets behind it, that's also okay. I'm
Yeah.
doing
I
it
mean,
because I enjoy it, and I want people to hear it. It just
yeah.
hasn't been heard.
And for me, like, I mean, as long as you like it, that's all that matters. Like, if you're the
Exactly.
only person that likes it, that's all that matters.
Exactly. I'm not worried about people liking it or not. I don't give
Yeah.
one
But you
shit
get,
about that.
but you
I,
get it.
yeah, I'm like, it's unfortunate that people don't even get a chance to make that decision because of
Hmm.
the way that Spotify works and the way that Instagram works. And, this, a band post the algorithm era of Spotify getting heard without being big already is very tough.
Hmm.
Like your songs aren't, it's a weird game to play, and I don't really ever play the game. I never have, social media and all. I've never done it.
And I love that
So
about you.
yeah, it bites me in the ass though. But I think I'm gonna just keep making songs and progressing the sound more and more as I've kind of figure out what Slow Tide is,
Hmm.
to me, and in my lane of like, I really wanted to make it opposite from Under Oath, and that was kind of like, what do I want to hear in my car when I don't want to hear heavy music? Let's make
Hmm.
that. And I made that. And my old manager said to me at one point, think about the lyrics the same way you think about the music is opposite. So I really like went out of my way to like lyrically write differently than Under Oath for the most part, even though there's songs like Battlefield and Too Much Weight that kind of fall similar into what you normally hear from me lyrically.
Yeah.
That I don't think I'll really abide by any rules making this second record. I'm like,
Hmm.
there should be no rules. Like if it gets a little wild and loud, sure. If it gets way more experimental and psychedelic, sure. If it gets darker and more sad, sure. Like I
Hmm.
don't think I have as much to prove to myself. Like I made every song, I wrote every song, I played every instrument. I was very like, I want to do this for me. And I think this time around is like, I'm going to collaborate more and be more open to like whatever, like
Hmm.
if I love it and it sounds cool, like, and it fits the vibe, then it's going to go on the record and be less, I don't think I have anything to prove other than I just want to make more rad shit that I want to hear,
Absolutely.
make my brain happy and less try to prove something to myself. And I think Under Oath went through the same thing at that one point when we were making Voyeurist. We wanted to make that record ourselves, like no producer. We cut, engineered, wrote everything. Like it was very like we almost had something to prove to ourselves. And at that time, I think I was kind of toying around with these ideas even at that time. Like starting with like the writing process of the Slow Tide stuff of like it kind of started back then for me. So I think I was in that same mind frame of like I want to do this all myself for myself. So yeah, I think this time around I'm going to be just get weirder with it. I think, which is what I've always done, and I
Yeah, of
kind of
course.
tried to steer away from it a little bit on the first album. But now
Oh.
I had a timer go off there. Now that I got that underneath my belt, um, I'm good. Yeah, I just want to keep creating.
Yeah, man, it's crazy because like as long as you're making what you want to make, it's a solo project, so
Yeah,
you can't really go wrong.
yeah. I mean, I could fire myself and then like hire somebody
AI.
else. Yeah, hire somebody else to do it.
But dude, I mean, you've been letting these songs cook since like what you said 2019, more or
No,
less.
I
Like,
mean, I think 20 like COVID-y times, 2021 probably. I started really diving into these songs.
yeah,
So 2021, I started probably writing on it and working on it. I'm about to get my hands dirty again and really start diving into this what's to follow. Even though this album just came out, it had so many like hiccups uh, on things that, like you said, the powers that be, like shit that was out of my control. So I think that was
yeah,
cool because I am busy. Underoath is always going to be my main, you know, gig and in my, you know, that's what I do. But I think I want to pour equal attention into this project and not make it a project, make it just like a band. Like I really like the feeling of it on stage more so than um, on record right now. So that leads me to believe I need to lean a little bit more into some of the guitar sounds on the next record and get a little grittier with it maybe. But I think playing, live has really helped me figure out where to go with it.
is there a certain song live that like you have a different feeling towards after playing it for the first time, or
I Rather Be Blind. It's a kind of guitar heavy song, and the way it feels live is just so rad. Like,
yeah.
and it's funny as like when I wrote that song, we were years away from ever seeing or hearing an Oasis reunion of any kind. But Liam has always been one of my favorite singers and just that Brit rock era of stuff. You know, Blasphemy to some, maybe not. Like early Coldplay, like Parachutes, like that
Yeah,
sadness
man.
of that sad, you know, sad guitar, like the melody choices, and even if the lyrics are happy, just that like sad Brit rocky kind of stuff. And that was kind of the like inspo behind that song. And as it kind of took new shape live, it's got a little bit more, uh, just a little dirtier, a little more rock and roll, but
Yeah.
not like active rock, like a little bit more indie rock to it. And it just feels good live. It's one of my favorite ones to play, even though it's got that slow kind of 3-4 verse to it. But there's something about that I love and always have. Um, and then yeah, just messing around with Battlefield and stuff that's like way more experimental, like doing that and like fucking around with like how I would just like go off on a tangent on that live, like that how that outro is just kind of like way out of left field and just like elaborating on that live and just like where do we go, like how do we take that from where it is on the record and just keep going with it, makes me believe that I'm just gonna like really lean into those ideas on the next record.
Yeah, do you still want the second record to be kind of like a 9 p.m. in a summer night kind of feel, like driving down
Yeah,
the? Yeah, yeah,
yeah. I think the synthier stuff will get synthier, and the gritness of the rock will get a little bit more rock and roll. But in the rock and roll way, I mean like the Benz era of Radiohead,
yeah.
and then like the synthier stuff gets a little bit more synthy and psychedelic, and um, but very like cruising in your car in the
Yeah.
summer with your windows down. It's like always been the vibe of that.
It feels very more like autobiographical, like where a song like oh my god, Blood Hungry.
Yeah.
Like
Hmm.
it's like you're telling a story, more or less,
Yeah.
like of
Yeah.
like a personal, like
That
just
was
how
a
difficult addiction can be, and like
I it's funny because that song I was written about an exact moment that it was like the last night I was like, or I mean, obviously I had some relapses and some struggles after that,
yeah,
but it was like the last night of like, okay, I'm done with this. Like the decision making after that, and that last night, how it felt. And the guy that was with me, is a good buddy of mine. Um, and when I wrote that song, I sent it to him. I was like, hey, about that last night. And he's like, he doesn't do drugs anymore either. And it's funny because he plays bass for me live now, and we have that like, man, that song's about a moment in like probably 20, it was right before COVID, and it was just like how it made me feel like the use of the word vampires is not in the like romantic like way of more just like kind of nasty, like you
yeah,
feel like what that would be like in real life, where you don't see it in like a Twilight type movie. You see it in like literally ripping someone's neck apart and killing someone because you're so hungry for something, like you're
yeah,
willing to like really do whatever it takes to get what you want. And that's a nasty feeling of just like addiction is just a gross it's just gross. And I think that song covers it in like a really clever way of like being a describing where I was living in Brooklyn at the time still, and it was just like, honestly, that actually happened. Like we were sitting at a bar and it was happy hour, and we decided like, oh, let's get some drugs. And the guy that's good is all the way on the other side of town, and my phone dies, and we had to get on the train and had to use my buddy's phone and like wrote down numbers on pieces of paper just to get what we were going for. And it was just a terrible waking up the next day just being like, oh, that's I don't ever want to do that again.
yeah. Especially with like the line where it's like took two, but I took seven.
Yeah.
Like,
I said I'd take
damn.
two, but I end up doing seven. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
And
a
it's
that's a line.
yeah. And it's just not a good place to be in, and it's a reminder too. I love playing it because it just reminds me of like, yeah, I don't ever want to be back there, and it feels like my lifestyle has changed so much. I've found so many other things that I love. I still think I'm addicted to the feeling of feeling good.
Yeah,
It's just a completely different thing. It's like going to the gym and getting a
yeah,
workout in. Like I get upset when I don't get to go. Like I start to like, if I miss a couple of days because of travel and like flying and like being all over the place, I start to get kind of angry the same way I would get
hmm,
angry if I couldn't find drugs. It's really weird. And then, you know, sleeping, like I love the feeling of waking up refreshed and like feeling good and like eating clean food and working out. I had the same, I, I'm still chasing that same high. It's just, it's feeling good in a different way. Like, and the sad thing about drugs is it's that feeling of that quick high and how amazing you feel. Nothing quick is good. Money, feelings, like all that shit, like quick stuff isn't good. And it's way easier to take a hit, a line, whatever you're doing, pop a pill to get an instant feeling, right? And then it starts to get worse every time. You actually start to never really get there ever again. But that destroying your body to feel that, because what's way harder is putting clean food into your body, waking up refreshed after sleeping good, and working out and feeling these endorphins and these highs by putting in the work, because putting in the
yeah,
work is so much harder. But that is the best way to get that feeling and to feel good, is to put in the work. It's just like, man, cutting corners and making quick money is my think is the fix, but when you realize it's not, and it's like, oh man, you're doing all this shit that probably isn't good for your life and isn't going to have a long term value, when you should have been, the guy who puts in the work and focuses on the job, and it takes him forever to get where he's going to go, but his business is now sustainable and will last a long time because he put in the work,
Yeah.
and then someone else of like selling drugs, quick money, it's not sustainable. It's like, yeah, can you get quick money? Sure. Buy a ounce of something and cut it in half or whatever you're doing and go out and make some money. Sure. Anyone could do that. But quick isn't good, and that's the same as getting high and addiction and doing things going the hard way or the easy way, And I think we all go through those phases of, when you're younger, easy always seems like the answer, right?
Dude, isn't it crazy? Like you get older and you just have to renegotiate like what you want, like routine. Oh my god, dude! Because I just came back from Jersey for SummerSlam.
Okay.
And I'm like, dude, I've been gone for 3 days. I'm in Oregon, so it's a complete across the U.S. thing. Like I need to be consistent with just routine, like sleeping and just gym and eating well. It's like
it's hard.
Yeah, dude, it's hard.
It's hard. It's hard being on tour, and Underoath luckily is in a place where 1 second.
Yeah.
Hey babe, those sweet potatoes are done. So with Underoath, it's a little bit easier because we, like at that level, it's easy to like have time because you got a crew. You can go to the gym. You can eat well. You can put good food on the rider, or there's catering, or a lot of those arenas or big venues are, when you got a crew, you can get in a Lime scooter or get in an Uber and go eat a nice healthy place and go to the gym and do all that. But with Slow Tide, it was really hard. It was like, man, this is gonna break me. It's like I'm so tired. Like we drive every day. The minute we get done with the drive, we're at load in. Load in means straight to fucking sound check, and then doors are open and we're at merch because it was like, I was like, oh man, like this is very, I feel like I've paid my dues multiple times over, and maybe I'm a glutton for punishment because I keep putting myself in that, I did it with Underoath and bands before Underoath. And then I did it with Underoath, and then I did it with Sleepwave, and now I'm doing it again with Slow Tide. I'm like, what am I doing? But I guess it's just, I love playing. Like, there's some shows on the Slow Tide tour that were really rough. I was like, this isn't fucking worth it. Like, I'd rather be at home with my soon-to-be wife and my kid. Or there was shows that were like, man, that feeling, that was like, the shows were like tiny places with 100 people in them, but like just playing something different, and it was that's why I do, like, that's why I do it. Like that feeling, like we would get off stage and be like, okay, now that, even if we had 2 out of the 20, like that was worth it,
Oh yeah, dude. It's like a collective like vibe where everyone's kind of on the same page.
Yeah.
And it feels different compared to like, you're playing an arena,
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
It's funny to wedge the Slow Tide tour in between 2 arena runs, like it was pretty wild. And I don't even think for me, like people are like, is it humbling or like, I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't really view us as like, we deserve this shit. We're fucking awesome. Like, I'm just kind of like, man, we work really hard. It's not luck. I mean, I can say we work really hard, and we still work probably harder today than we did when we were 18, 19, 20, 21. We work harder now. But like, I don't ever feel like because we do all that, I should go out there and work hard. I'm like, I'm open to it. I mean, it's what I love. If I didn't love it, I wouldn't be doing it. If I didn't love playing, like, I think my favorite thing is being on stage. The older I get, I'm like, I love writing songs. I love being creative. But I think there's something about being on stage that's my number one. I hate being away from home, but I love being on stage. It's a really weird double-edged sword.
It's like the sense of like always having to write or create something.
Yeah.
Where it's like you have that itch. Like, was there any sort of like kind of euphoric with like you dropped the Underoath album in March, end of March.
March,
Yeah, yeah,
April, I
and then
think.
like Slow Tide came right after, like maybe 8 9 weeks
June.
after.
Yeah, I think it was June. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like this bop 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 kind of feeling where you get
Yeah.
to kind of ride that wave. I'm like, okay,
Yeah. It's really interesting to go listen to them back to back.
yeah,
That's a, I don't, so the slow type music isn't made for Under Oath fans. Like, and I think, well, this day and age, you'll see someone with Taylor Swift and Deftones on the same, like if you look at people's Spotify now, it's like,
yeah.
that's kind of the beautiful part. I was kind of dogging it earlier about how hard it is to break out with Spotify and stuff now as a newer artist. But there is a beauty to it because when I was coming up, you either listen to A or B. Some people
Yeah.
listen to two types of genres, but like you identified as a scene kid, like you remember, like we all, you had black hair, you had the studded belts and like the look and the lip piercings or whatever, the plugs, and like, there was a definite identity with it. And now I feel like music is so open. It's like, I don't make this music expecting Underoath fans to like it, but there's also like, but maybe like sometimes people have Taylor Swift on, and the next song is "All the Love Is Gone" on the new Underoath record, and like you never know what people like anymore because people kind of like everything. So it's not catered towards that audience, and I don't expect that audience to come with me, but it is. If you do like both things, kind of like the Foster the People, Tame Impala kind of lane of stuff, and also like the Underoath, Deftones, whatever else you want to, Devil Wears Prada, whatever shit else you like in that lane. It's an interesting thing to put the records on back to back because it's a cool little ride to take.
Yeah, I feel like every Underoath fan should give this record a spin because I feel like, yeah, there's a lot to like about it. Like, there's a different side of the coin to who you are as a musician, as a person. Like, there's a
Yeah,
lot of heavy moments on it
there
lyrically.
is, and there's a lot of lighthearted moments on it, and
Mhm.
it was on purpose,
Yeah,
like, and I think I wasn't trying to write lyrically cryptic. A lot of Underoath's lyrics, especially when on some of the older records, were very cryptic, and a lot of that was because we were uncomfortable being honest. A lot of it was being uncomfortable in your own skin. A lot of it was just trying to be poetic.
yeah,
And in many ways, and the Slow Tide record was not written to be that way, um, on purpose.
yeah,
Just to like, oh, is that considered a bad lyric? Maybe to you, but it was written intentionally to be a lot more easy to understand and digest what I'm saying.
yeah, of
And
course.
because I have a different lane where I can be as cryptic as I want to be, and that's Under Oath.
Yeah, and I mean, it's heavy in a different way where, like, I would say, the new Underoath album, it's, like, vicious, like, and it hits you like a train where, this album, it's heavy where it can be like, "Oh, like an elephant is sitting on me," and you have that, like,
Yeah,
emotional weight to it, so it's more subtle.
yeah. There's some dark. I mean,
Yeah.
too much weight is it's real, and it's sad.
Yeah.
Same thing with Battlefield, and you know, um, but I don't know. There's some heaviness to it in a different way, and it's like I've always been drawn to that of like kind of like how we mentioned or I mentioned like the Parachutes album by Coldplay, like some of that stuff being so fucking sad sounding, and he's talking about love, and you're like, that is so interesting to me.
Yeah.
Like painting the dark, like the melody choices. I'm just like, ugh, cuts like with Radiohead was and is still one of my favorite bands of all time. It's got that same ugh. The melodies it's like hurts my soul, but also so are the lyrics. They
Mhm.
go hand in hand. But to hear someone be positive in a way of that dark, depressing sound is a real intriguing thing to my brain. So I try to do a little bit of both of that. Like, it always seemed easier. It's got that song where it's like it's a real playful, like kind of 80s-y, like you want to jump up and down in a live show, feel good, kind of foster the people feel to it, but like it's like a mental health song about like never checking in on yourself and being like inwardly not okay, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that's a fun thing for me to experiment with when I was writing this record.
And then you have a song like Neck High, which is my favorite off the record, where it's like that sense of optimism. And it's like, you know, when things are like, you know, at your neck, you're going to get through it.
Yeah. That song is still one of my favorites. We close with that song live, and I expand the outro after that vocal moment. Like, and we go on to like another minute and a half of like noisy guitar, and it gets louder. It's probably the loudest moment of the whole set. Like, we end on this really high note, and it's one of my favorites to play.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, and you wrote with Jason Seguido of Sir Sly on a few of these songs, and then Micah Male from There for Tomorrow.
Yeah, Micah.
Oh my god, dude, Micah's huge.
Yeah, he produced the record. He's a good friend of mine. So I wrote all these songs by myself and recorded them all by myself in my house.
Yeah.
And then I was like, am I crazy? Do I have something here? And so then I hit up Micah, and I went out to LA, and me and Jason did 2 songs together, just like fucking around, not knowing it was going to be on the Slow Tide record, just like making music, you know?
Yeah, for fun.
And then I had all these songs, and I hit up Micah, and I was like, what do you think? And he loved it. So I was like, he was like, well, if you want to make the record in my house, like, I'd love to do it. And I was just like, I really love his energy, and he's so talented. And
oh, dude,
he's just one of the sweetest people. So I was like, I felt really comfortable being like, okay, shoot me straight. And we got in there, and some of the songs he'd be like, what is that part? And why is that part? And we would kind of, we cut it up from there. But I wrote and recorded everything myself at my house first, and then recorded everything at Micah's house, and we made some changes on stuff here and there, and finalized everything. Because I was like, doing a solo record's cool, but not having a producer, you might end up smoking your own brand so much to where you put something out that people are like, what the fuck is this? You know?
Never again.
Yeah, it was, I needed someone's outside opinion once I was done with the creation process. Like, okay, to take this from here to here and ready for release, what do I need to do? And I hired a friend to be like, all right, I'm coming to your house. I think we cut it in 13 days. And that was it. Yeah.
Am I out to lunch here, or should Micah be like one of the biggest like pop stars out there right now?
I agree.
Because like,
incredible.
Oh my god, dude! Like, if anyone listening has not heard some of his like solo material post There for Tomorrow,
it's incredible.
Absolutely
it's also like
insane.
It's also like, I don't know if you've ever heard the Night Game.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Martin from Boys Like Girls. I never was a fan of Boys Like Girls, and I met him after, like, I guess they broke up for a while, and I heard the Night Game. I was like, oh my god, this is so sick. This is exactly what he should be doing. Yeah. And I loved it. And then the new Boys Like Girls record kind of sounds like a heavier version of the Night Game, but which is great. It's a great record.
Yeah.
And I can't believe the Night Game isn't fucking as big as the 1975 either. I'm like, what? It's so good. It's crazy.
And Martin's like a certified like rock star.
Yeah, he is.
He just has like that aura around him where he's like, yeah. When they're going out on tour with Jonas Brothers this fall.
Oh wow!
And my wife's like, babe, can we go? I'm like, yeah, we can.
Sure.
Cruise band.
That'll be great.
Cruise band. Yeah, I mean, it's funny how like, you know, bands like that will draw people into the scene, and it's cool because I feel like, you know, what you're doing with your solo material, it's like people who may not vibe with like how intense Underoath is can like, you know, like they get you, like they can understand who you are, like as a person.
It's a fun, like I said, it was just for me, and now I want it to be for others too, you know, so I'm going to keep doing it and keep making music, and hopefully one day enough people will hear it that the algorithm gods will play me a favor and let the songs be heard. But for now, I'm just going to keep on keeping on with it and see where it goes. And luckily, you know, I don't have to like ever stop it because it's not like I need this to work or I'm gonna have to quit and go get a job. You know, like Underoath is fine and dandy and healthy and moving well, and things are going well to where when I do music for music's sake, not that that's not what we do with Underoath, but you know, Underoath has got a cult following to where we can make a living doing that. It allows me to make other music to where if it doesn't catch on or not, if it catches on or not, it doesn't really matter because I can do it for me. And you know, but it's, you know, the more shows we played, like we just played in New York again, like we played in the Northeast a couple times on that tour, and then we saw people coming back, and then we just played New York again, and there was like 20 people on the front row singing every word. So it's like it is, the people that are hearing it are loving it, and it is catching a little bit of momentum, which is exciting to see. And we'll just have to see where it goes.
Yeah, I mean, and then I think you wrote with Matt Squire on a song, Rather Be Blind.
Yeah, I don't think if that was the one or not. I don't remember. We did that over the internet because I love Matt. Matt worked on Erase Me, and we worked on a few ideas together over the internet. He helped me during COVID get a lot of work for other artists, and we were just kind of like tag teaming a bunch of things. So I think one of the songs, he got me a song for an EDM artist, and the hook I wrote was so good. I was like, oh, I'm keeping that for myself. And he was a part of that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Was there anyone else that you had wrote with or collaborated with during the last like couple years that maybe just didn't work out for this record or just didn't feel the right completely or?
No, I mean, there's a lot of songs that didn't make the cut, but I feel like every person I work with, I enjoy, and you can always learn something if you got an open mind. No matter how long you've been doing it, if you get in a room with an older dude or you get in a room with a younger kid, you can always learn something if you're not too proud to learn. You know, you just open your mind, and like even if it's different, like I like to see how people get to the finish line because everyone does it differently, including myself. Like, so I like to see how other people get from point A to point B because it's always another tool to put in your belt if you've got an open mind. So
yeah, I know you don't do the social media game too much, but like, do you think maybe having some like kind of behind the scenes videos of like how certain songs came together? Because there's a lot of layers behind, you know, these songs on the record where, you know,
yeah,
I might want to like check that out and see how it is. And
yeah, I think the next time around, hopefully I'll have a budget to have someone shooting a lot more content and being able to talk about it a lot more. That's kind of been the main problem with the project is just not enough to promote, not enough content or whatever they need these days. I'm like, I'm just not. I mean, I literally play every instrument and like have two bands and a home life. I'm like, I don't have time to come up with content ideas and like think about what to post or like what to make. I'm like, but if you hire someone to shoot me on camera and ask me questions, I'm gladly be there. I just Slow Tie doesn't have that in the budget right now. So
I
we're
can
gonna
imagine
try.
I'm sure it's probably expensive enough as it was just to get that done.